Hey, everybody. We're live. I'd ask for a mic check, but as you can see, got a real microphone. So I think I'll still do it just for old time's sake. So let me get a mic check. Anybody out there, just let me know if you can hear me. It's echoey, too loud, too soft. Don't like the sound of my voice. You know, whatever you want to throw out there for the mic check, I'd appreciate it. I'll wait. We got some time. Like a whistle. If you guys like to hear me whistle while I'm waiting. I'm not the best whistler, but I can do that if that'll help. Still waiting on that mic check. Mic check. I don't know if you're supposed to get that close to a microphone. I don't know. It's probably too intimate. Maybe we're gonna get banned now off of YouTube. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I shaved my head a few times now. Actually, a lot. Maybe you just probably caught me in between head shaving. Mic good. All right, cool. I saw we lost a couple of viewers there while I was waiting for the mic check. Sorry about that. Just a little product placement, a little mirror effect there for you there. I don't know how many times you're going to see that logo today. So you see it right here. You're going to see it a few more times. So here we go. This is an AMA. That's Ask Me Anything. It's basically what it means. You ask, I answer. I usually answer almost all questions. There's been a few in the past that I chose not to answer, I guess. So here we go. We'll get the first one out of the way. This gets the gold medal. So Suave Invest, it's in the mail. So be on the lookout for that gold medal. It is kind of similar to the Paris Olympic gold medals, so it's worthless. So, you know, sorry. Hey, Kev, any insights on Thought AI? So I'll take that one first. So my insights, so like what, like insider knowledge? Not really. What I do know is that they're still working on a few really big things that they just haven't really made announcements about publicly. There's been a few leaks here and there about potential contracts they have and other contracts they're working on, et cetera, what their platform does in the background. I still think, you know, Thought AI, I don't think has seen its bull market yet. And so whether that's the coming bull market or the let's cross our fingers coming bull market, I don't know. Or it's, you know, bull markets of the future, I don't know. But given the fact, you know, I think they need to do a few things to make sure that they're more well-known so that people know what they're doing and they can get excited about what they're doing. But I still own a lot of Thought AI. Let's put it that way. I got told that the Snapshot Awards of Flux will be available at the end of September. Can you confirm? Not really. Can't confirm that. Still waiting actually to hear from Flux themselves. I have a call on Monday, unrelated to the Slapshot, unrelated to the Snapshot, but with Daniel Keller, the CEO at Flux. So I'll ask, and you guys can tag me at Kevin Murcko in Telegram and say, dude, it's Monday. You said. I think it's late in the afternoon European time. So maybe Monday evening, tag me and I'll jump in and give you an update. This isn't a question, but I figured, you know, why not put this on the screen while holding my Coinmetro mug? Funny enough, just to really throw a bunch of logos out there. Check this out. I got a water. It's not a water bottle. I don't know what you call this. I think he called this like somebody's trying to sneak alcohol in the office, but it actually has water in it. So Supreme Immortal Leader. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm good. Awesome. I think that was a mic check. Why is Coinmetro moving so slowly? This is from Mr. Nipple Tickler. So is Nipple a first name or is Nipple Tickler with no hyphen the complete last name would be my first question. If I could ask you one, then I'm wondering if you got married, would your wife take your name? Because that'd be an interesting ceremony. Well, the ceremony probably wouldn't be that interesting, but the documentation would be funny. On the public facing front, it truly seems like nothing is happening. People are losing interest, no? Well, so, okay. So I guess I'll take the last part of those questions, I guess, first, people losing interest. So no, I don't think people are losing interest. In fact, if we look at kind of the progression of the overall market, meaning where prices look right now, whether we're in kind of a bull market, bear market, all those different things, and we compare it to other times in the business history, generally speaking, no, our people, our kind of client base haven't lost interest. Why are we moving so slowly? Well, you know, I think there are businesses that never do anything different from the public side and, you know, continue to crush it. I don't think giving people new updates generally means your business makes more money. Now, it doesn't mean it won't either, but there are a ton of businesses out there in crypto as well that haven't done a damn thing almost ever, but tend to do well. So the secret sauce generally isn't a lot of updates. You know, we've done a lot of updates. Let me tell you, there's been updates a galore over the past 7 years. Well, whether you like them or not, whether you thought that we should have done those updates or whatever is a whole different question. But we've done a lot of updates. So there's a lot of work going on in the background for some big updates come October, and also to put stability where the stability needs to be. I've talked a lot about tech that I want to stop mentioning those words, but essentially getting us accelerated to the point where we're now ready to do a lot of the things that we've been waiting to do, and also we're working on things right now that we've been waiting to do that'll launch in October. But rather than trickle them out, we want to come out with a completely new product and then essentially build on top of it. So yeah, it may seem like we're moving slowly, but I would say in general, aside from a few thematic baskets around crypto, the market's moving pretty slowly. Considering that, you know, big things have happened relatively recently. Imagine an ETF was launched, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin moved, but to be honest, it went probably where it would have been anyway without that news, maybe a few months down the line. Then an ETH ETF was announced. Nobody cared. And so we're kind of in a territory right now where the entire market probably is used to always having news, good or bad, that moves the market. Fundamentals all over the place, or pumpamentals, whatever you want to call them. But news that moves the market. And now it's kind of like, you know, people have been popping pills for so long. There's a lot more pills to get high. You know what I'm saying? So people need, or think they need, to hear really amazing stuff to jump into the market. That's not going to last that long. Eventually, real fundamentals and real value will make its way into the market for the first time. And I think we're getting real close to that threshold, which is not a bad thing at all for the market in general. Your mother, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, Kev, when BTC death spiral? Have I predicted a BTC death spiral? I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be a BTC death spiral, Bitcoin death spiral. I think capitulation is going to look different this time around. Obviously, there are ETFs. There is going to be more kind of, let's call it traditional buying going into the market, mainly retail money still, but a different class of retail money. And because of that, I don't think we're going to see the ups and downs like we've previously seen in Bitcoin specifically. Now, I do think we have one stereotypical bull market that's still going to come upon us, though I do think it's going to be different, though in many aspects it's going to be the same. So I don't think there's going to be a death spiral, but I do think we probably haven't seen the valley of Bitcoin, let's say, throughout this next market cycle. So even though we're probably going into what we would consider to be a bull market, I don't think we've seen the low even within that bull market. Though, you know, we may, but I think we're probably going to see it between end of Q1 into Q3 next year is I think when we're going to see the low of this, let's call it, you call it a cycle, even though it might be split between two cycles, but I don't think we've seen it yet. But I don't think it's going to be a death spiral. Let's put it out there. Hey, how about that Crappy Cadena ecosystem, huh? There's a rug or a project shut down every week now. Yeah, well, you know, unfortunately, you don't control every layer one has shit on it. The problem is with Cadena, there's not enough good stuff to outweigh the shit. And that's for a lot of different reasons. Ethereum has a lot of shit. Solana has thousands of shitty projects every day launching on Solana. But somehow that's looked at as a good thing. Like, oh, well, they're using our chain for one reason or another. Yeah, but not for anything good. And that's the same thing that happened with Ethereum through, let's say, the tail end of the ICO bubble, then into the NFT bubble. And, you know, Cadena hasn't really seen a bubble yet. Cadena has yet to find its footing. I've mentioned a few times that in order for any layer one to really stand out, they can't all be Ethereum killers. They need to find a niche. They need to find some problem they solve better than the competition, and they need to focus on that. And I don't think Cadena's done that yet. They've tried to be a jack of all trades like every other layer one. And I think they need to, you know, buckle down and figure out really what they're good at. Like and subscribe. Hey, Lou, I appreciate that. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Isn't THT mostly supported by MTVO? Well, I wouldn't say mostly. They're definitely supported by MTVO. Definitely members of MTVO own a good amount of THT. That's for sure. I know a miner with a lot of mining capacity in Texas, for example, that owns a lot of THT. No connection to MTVO. Happens to be in the same state, I guess, but other than that. And I also know other larger, let's say, larger groups of people, of investors, retail investors, and also kind of, I'd call them small funds that also have money in THT. So no, I don't. I think mostly should be removed from that sense. Isn't THT supported by MTVO? Yep, mostly no. Yeah. Jason was buying, that's for sure, but so were others. Setup is looking clean. Thank you. Appreciate that. Trying to got some echo protection in here now, which is good. Yep, a little bit of merch. Never hurt anybody, a little bit of merch. I just got these actually. I was messing around. It was my birthday back in July, and I got a free gift certificate to our internal merch store. So I bought one of everything. Of course, my gift certificate didn't go that far. I think my gift certificate got me a coffee mug. This bad boy right here. But I went and just got one of everything to see, what it's like. I got sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I'll probably wear one of those sweatshirts at some point. It's just too hot right now. Not necessarily in this room, but just in general. Have you adapted to living in Estonia over the years? How have you adapted? You can live anywhere in the world and adapt. I think people who have this idea that if they move somewhere else, like their life's going to end, there are definitely people who can't live anywhere. That's for sure. Like you put them anywhere on the planet, they're just going to disintegrate and, nothing's going to work out. But I think most people can go live anywhere. Being in Estonia for about almost 7 years. Yeah. The winters are a bit brutal and the summers are short, but I grew up in the Northeast. So we had hot summers and relatively brutal winters as well. I've definitely had worse winters in the Northeast, but I also lived there longer than I did so far in Estonia. People are people, generally speaking. And, when most of what you do all the time is work, it's pretty easy to adapt to anywhere, really. No, don't speak Estonian. I got a few words, but no, I would fail. I would fail a test. That's for sure. Flux, it's potentially some biz dev, a little bit of biz dev. What is your IQ? Christopher, I feel like I'm talking to an AI. So I've taken multitudes of IQ tests. In fact, I usually do one at least once a quarter. Some of them are, let's say, more established than others. I've done Mensa tests, and I've also done actual sit-down tests and with someone in the room, and I've done them online, both free and paid. Anyway, I like to do it every once in a while, just to see my cognitive abilities and how they're doing, and kind of test myself, see if I can beat my record. And I usually fall between about the high 120s into the low 140s, somewhere in there. And it really depends on my demeanor that day, my focus, and really if I'm, into it and not distracted. But yeah, that's generally it's kind of hard to pinpoint one number, to be honest. Can you name 3 fundamentals that have been significantly improved since Q1 and why you think they will have a positive long-term effect on Coinmetro? So are you asking me about fundamentals in general? Or are you asking me about, because your previous question, Mr. Nipple Tickler, was about we're moving too slowly. And I said that things are happening, there's been updates, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know if you mean market fundamentals or you mean fundamentals in relation to some changes or updates or whatever that may have happened in Coinmetro. Considering the structure of your sentence, I'm going to go with market fundamentals. If I'm wrong, you can ask again. So since Q1, in terms of market fundamentals, because let's be honest here, guys, there are a lot of businesses in Coinmetro, in crypto, that have less product, worse product, and make more money and have more clients than we do. And there's a multiple of reasons for that. But the fact that we were, quote unquote, according to you, Mr. Tickler, or again, you're not hyphenated, so it's confusing, Mr. Nipple, NT, we'll call you NT. NT, is that Mr. NT, MNT? I don't know. your idea that we're moving slowly is somehow affecting our business. Well, I see a lot of businesses moving slowly. I see businesses that really shouldn't be making money. I see businesses that broke rules and made money. I see businesses that tried to do everything the right way and failed. See all kinds of things, right, in the crypto space, as well as outside of crypto, anywhere you look really in business. In terms of the market, businesses in crypto, especially exchanges, do well when Bitcoin's doing well. Doesn't matter if they have lots of volume on altcoins. Doesn't matter if they have a billion other products that have nothing to do with Bitcoin. The market in general, sentiment in the market, volumes in the market, and thus generally profitability among almost any platform in crypto is going to correlate somewhat or entirely to the price of Bitcoin. And so when we had the ETFs come out toward the tail end of Q1 into Q2, that definitely spiked volumes. It definitely spiked profits. You'll notice that Coinbase and a few other properties around crypto have been talking about how they had record profits Q1, Q2, some even into Q3. Now we're having a bit of a stagnation. Nobody's having record profits right now. And that's just generally the way the market works. So when we talk about fundamentals, we have solidified at least Bitcoin and now Ethereum into kind of the record books as financial assets, and now almost traditional financial assets. They are going to be the first assets to be kind of intermingled almost completely with traditional finance. That fundamental alone will significantly improve the long-term effect, positively speaking, on Coinmetro and, well, let's call it crypto in general, and the ability for businesses in this sector to make money, even make stable returns, even inside of quote unquote bear markets. Thoughts on Odin? Hey, your mother. I don't have any thoughts on Odin, actually. I haven't looked at Odin in a long time. I don't even remember what Odin is. I know I read about it at one point. You might even ask in the past. I probably even had an opinion, but to be honest, I don't remember. How is CM Trader going? How is the XCM MM getting on? Well, you can take a look at the charts. MM is getting along well. It's definitely helping with price action and helping to maintain liquidity on both sides of the book, which is exactly what a market maker should do. I would say that it's going well. It's going according to plan. And we're going to start to see the plan unravel a bit more October, November, December. Another logo shot for you. If you're keeping track, I don't know how many we're up to now. It's a good drinking game. Maybe you should take a shot every time you see a logo. Hey, Debbie, I saw the announcement for U.S. business deposits. What's the status for individuals? Yeah, USD, the big question. So I always say this, and you probably heard me say it before, Debbie, but I'm going to say it again because not everybody may have heard it. And I sometimes like repeating myself. So USD is a pain in the ass. USD compliance is a pain in the ass. USD in general is difficult to find, maintain, and when you do find partners, especially ones that deal in what are considered to be high risk areas like crypto, at least that's how it's classified by the banks and regulators of the world in general. When you do find a partner that works, they either get shut down by the government or they go bankrupt. So, over time, it wears on you. It's not easy. And that's why a lot of platforms don't service directly USD. In fact, most don't. Now, back to your question. So we have 3 or 4, I think 4 right now, possible solutions for USD for individuals. It's not a problem, but the extenuating circumstance around that, somebody asked about my IQ, so I figured I'd use a bigger word. The extenuating circumstance around that is that USD, the way that the money flow needs to work doesn't match how our current money flows work. When I say money flow, like when a deposit happens, what does it look like? And you got to draw a schematic. Like, here's the client, they send the money into this account, and then the money goes from here to maybe a liquidity provider. Some of it gets stored here in this client funds account, or all the money stays there, and then we match it on this side with a stable coin, and then we move that stable, whatever. How the money flows, what it looks like, where it sits, etc. And of course, all banks and all payment providers look at these things because they want to make sure that 1, you're compliant, 2, they're avoiding any major risks with how you manage client funds. And that's fine. We can draw those schematics all day long. Issue now is that the major providers of USD in the US banks, etc., all now require a very specific money flow, which we don't currently have built into our ecosystem because, well, we haven't had to have this type of money flow. And so it requires a bit of work on the technical side. It requires another third-party integration. And so it requires 2 to 3 third-party integrations for it to work. All those have a cost. All those have an implementation schedule and, whatever. And so we have 4 providers. All 4 providers have the same exact money flow. We've already signed documentation with one of the parties that we need in order to make this work. The other 2, let's say the other 1, and then these 4 providers we're in talks with to find the best way to do this so that the user experience doesn't get completely destroyed. We don't want people to have to go to one website, come to another website, click here, click there, sign this, sign that, go on board over here, send your passport to who knows who. We don't want to have to do any of that stuff. So we're finding the kind of the best way to get this done. Because of that, right now in our internal roadmaps, we have USD sometime in December. And the goal was to get it done with the launch of this new product, which is coming out in October. Problem is that in order to do that, we would have to ensure that these third parties align and do everything they need to do on their side by the end of September. And there's no way for us to guarantee that. So while we may get USD before December, we don't want to do stereotypical Coinmetro and go, well, we can be ready by October, so they should as well. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. There's a lot of progress, but unfortunately, there's some things that just take longer because of, the changes that have happened. Many of those changes happen because of, things that have happened in this market, like your FTXs, like your Binances, etc. Hey, Paul, thanks for all the memes, Paul. Those who don't know, Paul sends me like a meme a day. Most of them are hilarious, but I can't share them with anybody because they're all so terrible. And so, but thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Hey, Kev, last AMA, you mentioned that the team was having difficulty unraveling what a previous head of development had done. How's that going? So that previous head of development has come back in, not as a full-time or whatever, but to give us some hours of their time to be able to crack some of this tech debt. And we've cracked, I don't know a percentage off the top of my head, but I would say if there were 5 major things we wanted to solve, we've solved 2 of them and now almost a third because of a few hours of back and forth to try and figure out where we needed to look. And so it's going well. It's the summer, so some of our current devs are now on vacation. And so some of that progress is slowed down a bit. But obviously we knew people were going to take a vacation. It's the summer, right? What are you going to do? But anyway, it's going at the level, I guess, or maybe even ahead of the level where we thought it would be at this time. So all good. Jack, did you and MW catch up about using Wire Revolut as a bridge, as a USD bridge to Coinmetro? Also, how is the USD ramp? So I already talked about the USD ramp. So actually it wasn't Revolut. MW was talking to me about Wise. And I have 3 or 4 branches out to Wise right now to see if we can. I'm also waiting on some information from MW. So MW, if you're listening, that information would be amazing. So that we can attack from a few different angles. So yeah, have a few things out, a few feelers. I do think that the idea has some legs. I'm not so sure how open they will be, though MW seems to think they will be quite open, so we'll see. But yeah, it's in progress. It's in progress along with those 4 others that I mentioned in the previous question. Does Estonia have an Iron Dome? Yeah, you're looking at them. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. That's like, what kind of question is that? I feel like Biden. Come on, man. I'm not that old. Jesus. I think I can string together a sentence too, which separates, me from him. I don't think they have an Iron Dome, no. They got some Apache Apache helicopters though. Apache Apache. I think that's Apache attack helicopters. That's what I meant to say. It kind of sounded right. I don't know. Runway profitability update. Our monthly active users increasing. BTC has held its price for a while now. As Coinmetro user activity continue to run correlation to BTC price. So Runway, about a month less than what I said last time. So I think it's 8 months, roughly. Profitability update. So March is a profitable month. After that, we've seen with Bitcoin slowing down and getting into a range, we've seen the same thing with our numbers. And so we are making about 35-40% of our burn, something along those lines, in terms of an average monthly since March. Active users are generally the same. They do fluctuate, but I would say on average, it's roughly the same. So when you really see an impact on users is when Bitcoin is moving. And if it's only moving to the downside, that's not necessarily a good thing. But if it's volatile and generally on an upswing, so kind of something like this is when you're going to see across all platforms profits going up. And I think we're going to start to see that coming into September and then into October. October is usually the best month out of the year in terms of price action for specifically for Bitcoin, but also other crypto assets. And Q4 has only been a negative quarter 2 months. 2 years, sorry, out of 2 years, out of now, what is it, 15, 16 years. This will be the 16th year since Bitcoin is launched. So let's see what happens this year. Odds are in our favor, I guess. I don't accept abbreviations. Put some respect on my name. To be honest, I don't really respect bad punctuation. So I don't accept abbreviations. I would say that should be a semicolon. Put some respect on my name. Maybe behind my name would be better. And then you probably need a period. So once you get grammatically correct, I will respect the name. Though I think you need a hyphen at least, to be very honest. Market fundamentals. Awesome. Are you seeing good progress with tech debt solving? Yep. Has attention been turned to Mars yet? Attention from the dev side, no. But there is some movement on Mars, especially on our mobile app in terms of progress. Q4 still in sights. So you think we're going to see a slight bullish upswing for the minute 24 and then a final low Q1-ish? No, Q1 is going to be amazing 2025, I think. Q2, Q3 will be a lull, a little volatility, no new highs, probably a ranging market. Q3 into Q4 end of next year and into Q1 2026 will be the, oh my God, I'm buying everybody a Lambo time. And then after Q1 2026, I expect we roll into some form of cyclical market that will be bearish. I do not think it's going to be a 4-year cycle, but we'll have to see how this one pans out first. What is actually happening when we see massive upticks in daily volume, i.e. 50 million traded volume? Do you have mentioned this before when M&M's eating each other? So we don't have any market makers, quote unquote, eating each other. What we had in the past was it, and it wasn't all the time in the past. People just assumed as much, but we had liquidity providers. Now, the difference between an LP, liquidity provider, and a market maker, just so you know, is a liquidity provider generally requires us to put collateral on their platform. They then send us a quote feed, so we get prices from them. And we have a trade feed, which we can send executable orders. Those executable orders are executed against the credit they give us based on the collateral we have with them. And then we settle with them on a daily basis based on that credit line. That's a liquidity provider. Now, not all liquidity providers in every market work that way, but generally speaking, with a liquidity provider, you will hold assets with them somewhere. They could be non-custodial, even in traditional markets, which means you have a bank account which they have signatory authority on for certain things. Anyway, point is that generally speaking, that's how liquidity providers work. Market makers have multiple functions. Some of those functions are about providing liquidity. Some of those functions are simply about price action. And so keeping a book active. So they may not be filling any orders, not even between their own accounts, for those that think this may be wash trading. And I'm not saying this is what happens on Coinmetro, but in general, market makers will be there simply to make sure that there's price action. And that doesn't even mean they're executing orders. It just means that they're in the book. For us, a percentage of all these orders, on some days it's larger than others, are actually executed against client orders. There are going to be some orders that are executed between different market makers. That happens, but they're not cannibalizing each other because we're not paying. This is free liquidity getting traded between two different entities, and it's settling based on assets that are sitting on our platform. And so in reality, nothing's really happening. If somebody buys a Bitcoin, one sells another Bitcoin to the other counterparty. Now, if there was a client within that trade, they will get filled. If not, it may just be two market makers trading with each other, but they are trading. All right. It's not one market maker trading with themselves. So on different days, it can be different levels of percentages. It could be 30%, 50%, 90%, 80%. It all depends. What this is helping us with is that as those volumes go into the market, we are getting people trading larger volumes, because a lot of people that use automated systems will read what's available and adjust their order size, not only based on how much assets they hold with us, but also what's available in the book. So having those larger transactions happen, or multiple smaller transactions happen, is inducing more trading. So all good for us. Hope that was a decent explanation for you. But anyway, I'll be here for a bit. So, hey, Kevin, hope you're good. Are there any big updates coming to Coinmetro to be excited for? Yep. All eyes on October, man. I don't really want to say what they are, because you're going to find out in October. Coffee and water. But they're good updates. You should hang around and find out. I think you'll probably get some tidbits though, getting up to October. Hey, Paul, again, what is the special sauce that would make Coinmetro a top 10 centralized exchange, which in my opinion is where it already belongs? I agree with you. I think many of the things that we do already very well. So somebody talked about MW. For those of you who don't know who MW is, apparently he died in China, but came back to life. Anyway, he's probably one of the most outspoken people that used to be in our main chat. Now he's in other Telegram chats talking about Coinmetro. Some who believe they are the main chat. So maybe they are. I don't know. Point is that he's a very active community member. He's also been highly critical of us over the years. However, even he says that in terms of on-ramp and off-ramp in Europe, there's no one that beats us. And I think he's right. In terms of when you combine everything together in terms of access, the ability to kind of get in and out, the speed of transactions, even when they have to be manually verified, all those things together, we are the best. When you combine that with, I still think, the best support in the industry, that's a major upside. That's something that a lot of the top 10 platforms would love to have, tried to have, never attempted to have, or just, but we do it, and we do it every day. So I think the issue there is that people just don't know that we're here doing it, right? It's kind of like, you're in your backyard shooting hoops and you're hitting every single one, right? 100% all the time. But the only person that sees it is your 4-year-old cousin. And so he knows you're good. Nobody else does. And so, we need we need to let people know, and we know we need to let people know. Part of the work that's going on behind the scenes is building a new product that will allow us to onboard much quicker, much easier, allow people to roll in, DCA, stake, do all these really great things much easier, simplified manner, etc. Combine that with the great support, combine that with the ease of operations when moving fiat on the platform. And I think that alone makes us top 10. To get there, more people need to know who we are. And yeah, that's it. Spill the beans on this October product, Big K. Nope. Sorry, Jack. No beans to spill. Well, I actually have a lot of beans to spill, but I'm not going to spill. Holger. Hey, Holger. The new levels need an update. The decay rate is too high. And why is it per day? Per week would be better. Well, we can definitely take a look at that. The great thing about levels is it was built in a way that it is easy to change and add and subtract and take away and all that great stuff. So I think, maybe the decay rate, maybe it is too high. I don't know, but we'll definitely have more data as we get toward the end of the year. And that data will be able to tell us, are people trying to maintain their level? Do they give up after some time because it is too hard to keep? Would it make more business sense to slow that down? Would they actually transact more? And all that data, we're going to have. So we'll definitely be able to take a look at it. I would say to jump into our feedback channel on Coinmetro, or even the main channel, and let us know about it so that other people can see it in the business as well. When little A on Mars? Well, once the new Mars update comes, pretty much everything on Coinmetro will be in Mars. So if it doesn't happen before then, that's when. This new little AI news sounds interesting. What is your take? Do you see a strong future? Well, I own some little AI, and I bought it pretty much right after they launched with us. I think this, and I talked about this. Actually, I think even somebody from the little AI team mentioned that I had mentioned. Hold on, need some more water. I wonder if you pick up like that stupid slurping sound when I was drinking my water on the mic. Hopefully not. So I had mentioned, I've been to Dubai a bunch of times, and even 10 years ago in Dubai, they were saying that data is the new oil. And now they're saying, I mean, I heard it so many times now, I'm going to get a t-shirt. It just says data is an oil. I know. And then this way I don't have to hear it anymore. Point is that a system that's in thousands of different chat rooms in a specific industry, any industry really, but specific industry, that picks up on what conversations are being had, what people are talking about, what their sentiment is based on, the verbiage they use, all these different things, what they talk, what the specific subject matter, all that good stuff, and can compile that. And then that data can be used to figure out what people want, what they're looking at, what they're trading, what they're looking to buy, why are they not buying, why are they selling, et cetera, is gold to any trader, fund, retail trader, any company looking to launch a token, pretty much anybody in this industry in some way, shape, or form. That data has value. So I haven't seen how they're going to, how they're going to mine the data, how that data is going to be kind of what the output's going to look like, right? Because I used to say this as well, and I didn't say it. I mean, this is something I believe as well. One of the reasons that I like blockchain in general, Bitcoin network, and then now all these blockchains, and just the market, is that the data that you can get off a blockchain for where people are moving their assets, when they're moving them, the amount they're moving, find patterns in that, figure out what those patterns equate to in terms of when people are buying and selling, is amazing. And it's data that even institutional traders didn't necessarily have in the traditional markets, unless they had a friend of a friend who worked at, JP Morgan or some investment bank, and they sat back and they had some access to the data and said, dude, we just saw somebody move 10 billion. Normally when this happens, they're buying options on whatever, but it was data that came few and far between. Now that data is available to anyone. The problem is that who knows how to disseminate, who knows how to get that data disseminated and figure out what it means? Well, almost nobody. And that's why tools like Parsec and other things like that can analyze that data are also amazing products. And so Lil AI is not, is a completely different kind of side of this data argument, but it's almost one and the same. Those type of companies that can take data and give you and dumb it down and make it actionable, like do this because look what the data is saying, are going to be worth a lot of money. That's for sure. I've never seen you angry. Do you get angry? How do you calm down when you're angry? Have you ever been angry with Coinmetro staff? I do get angry. In my business life, almost never. I get more frustrated maybe than angry. Personal life, I can get angry. For some reason, my brain, you ever seen that? Have you seen the show Severance on Apple TV? Yeah, I have like natural severance, right? So I go home and when I'm kind of in the family zone, I almost forget my work. And that was really hard for me to do because back when I was younger, I would feel guilty about that and thought that if I didn't think about work 24/7, I was like some kind of asshole or something. And I still get a bit of that sometimes, but I've realized now that it's not optimal to live that way for the business or for your personal life. So I can get angry, calm down. I think you have like an inner monologue. I have an inner monologue, and my inner monologue is usually like, dude, like, this ain't gonna work out. Just think about what you want to say, put it in words, say it, and try to say it in a way that you're not going to antagonize this and make it worse. Have I ever been angry with staff? Oh, yeah, sure. But that anger, that moment of anger turns into a moment of frustration. And then my natural, I need to solve a problem mindset sets in. And then I try to be the person in the room that's calm, collected, and may not be the one who solves the problem. I used to want to be the one who solved the problem. I don't need to solve the problem, but I want to be the gateway by which it gets solved, or I will be that if I have to be. And I think that's what naturally happens to me, more or less. Awesome. I don't know what that was response to, but cool. When Caspa, Dynex, and Versus. So I know of Caspa. I didn't want to list Caspa at first because I got spammed all over the place with Caspa stuff. And usually when that happens, I just kind of walk away. I haven't heard of Dynex and Versus, so I'll have to look up those. You can ping me on Telegram, give me a link or something. I'll take a look. Patiently waiting for THT to shine. Yeah, same here, man. Same here. Great explanation of the MM liquidity, high daily volumes. Thanks. You're welcome, Jack. Could someone in the marketing team make an Coinmetro Cryp Sheet? I think it'd be a Coinmetro Cryp Sheet, right? About nationality, access, on-off ramp, speed, and fees. We probably have something like that. I think I've seen a deck with something like that. So I would post that in the Telegram and see if we have something. But I think we do. Or at least, something that you can interpret this data from. Still some marketing plans for September. Is there any scope for community involvement, marketing competition? So the main advertising, because we constantly do marketing, right? But in terms of advertising, paid marketing, let's say, it's going to be mostly a few weeks in the lead up to the product launch that should happen in October now. So that's probably going to be end of September into October, if not beginning of October. You can tag Camille in our Telegram chat to maybe get a bit more information. I would love to have community involvement. I really like dealing with you guys, even people that it may not seem I like dealing with you. I think I'll say this again. I've said it a million times, maybe not a million. I said it like 900,000 times. That one of the best things we've ever built at Coinmetro is definitely the community. Now, it might not be the biggest, and maybe it's not even maybe it's not the most active, whatever. But we've maintained, I think, a genuine community. And yeah, sometimes, people say stuff that they get shot out for, or muted, or whatever. But I think generally speaking, we've built a great thing there. And I honestly really like having these talks with you guys. I think it's insightful. And it's a highlight for my now month, unfortunately. It used to be week, but I got downgraded to monthly. So, Christopher, do humans have souls, or are we just walking, talking biological machines? Dude, you got to be an AI, man. I don't know. Should I spend time on this one? All right, I'll give you a minute on this one. So, it's a good question, and I don't think anybody can answer it. I think everyone's, I think the definition of soul varies greatly depending on who you talk to. Then there's the question, do machines have souls? And that's going to be a harder question to answer the deeper we get into artificial intelligence. And if you believe that we are biological machines, which means we were created by something that's overlooking us, and maybe they're studying us, and this is going to end at some point like a video game, and we're going to get restarted. If you believe in that, then you probably believe that whatever technology we have on Earth or in this planet has evolved to a point that it's much more complex than we see it now, which would mean that artificial intelligence is now maybe even surpassed natural intelligence. So does that mean that they have souls? I think like most things in life, the reality is we don't know, and it's somewhere, no one knows for sure, and the reality is somewhere kind of, in the middle. I don't think, these are also human words, right? So biological machines, what does that even mean? But in terms of, do we have a soul? Does that soul progress to some other place when you die, versus are we just energy, and that energy dissipates into and turns into something else? I would probably go more with the latter. But would I consider that as a definition maybe for something like a soul, something that doesn't die? We believe scientifically that energy doesn't die. So I guess the answer to that would be we have souls. Maybe. Everything's sorted out with an XRA. It's a good question. I don't think so yet, but that's a good question to ask in Telegram, so you can get an update on that one. You seem more upbeat and relaxed than in previous AMAs. It makes me more bullish on Coinmetro and XAM future. Hey, Paul. Well, I got a better setup, and yeah, I'm always pretty optimistic. Just some days are longer than others, No matter if everything's good or everything's bad, some days are long, some days are short, right? And, I've had some long days that felt short. Let's put it that way. In terms of performance of your app, you're not the best in Europe. Currently, no, and I think you're right. All I'll say to that is October. Do you listen to Elon and Trump's? I didn't. I caught little snippets, but I didn't listen to I didn't listen to it at all, really. But I caught snippets on X afterwards. So who would you prefer to have a fireside? We mean Elon or Trump? Elon, for sure. Professionally, personally, I don't know. I think a candid chat with Donald Trump when he's not being recorded would be much more interesting. But I'd probably choose Elon, not necessarily because I like Elon more than I like Trump, or because I don't like Trump more than I like Elon, or whatever, right? Not just because I think the conversation might be more varied and a bit more interesting, maybe. I don't know. And have you broken bread with Ollie yet? Me and Ollie are fine, man. We still chat. We get updates from each other. I know he's doing some cool stuff with little AI now, so that's awesome. So yeah, I don't think there was any ill will ever. You know, business is business, and sometimes you got to break some eggs. That's it. You know, it's nothing that anybody. Sometimes you got to do shit that you don't want to do, I guess is the way to say. But yeah, we're fine, man. No ill will, I think. At least and I don't think there's any from Ollie's side as well. You're looking better than ever. Are you training for the upcoming bull run? A little bit. I do got to get back to the gym though, to be honest. Yes. Yeah. Check it out. It's got an arm. Even the arm is soundproofed. I don't know. I just felt like buying a better mic, so I finally bought a better mic. That's all. I think it's worth it though, to be honest, because my old mic is still sitting right here. Is the old mic. Not a terrible mic. Also soundproofing around the room and stuff. Lots of different things happening. So we'll see. Hopefully it stays good. I don't know. Okay, so I think I got through all the questions, guys. We're 46 minutes in. I got a bit more time if somebody wants to throw another question out there. Trying to see if there's anybody hanging around. Let's see in Telegram. Maybe there's a question here. If not, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up because I got through all the questions. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I guess I could ramble on about something, but I've been doing that for 46 minutes already. So what, you know, I don't want to continue to ramble. That'd be ridiculous. I could lift up my coffee mug a few more times, a few more shots. This isn't the coffee mug, but what do you call this thing? Tumbler, I think is what it's called. Yeah. You seen those ridiculous things that they sell in the US called like the Stanley Cup or something? And people are like running around beating people up to buy them. I don't know. I'm getting old. I don't know. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate you. And thanks for the question. Hopefully I answered it. Okay. We're going to wrap it up, guys and gals. Oh, wait. Lou. Oh, wait a minute. That's not this was the first question. Where can we buy that merch? So this merch is in an internal store that only is available to Coinmetro employees right now, but hopefully it'll be available to the public in the future. We'll keep you updated. I have actually. And I'm waiting on a transaction to close, and I'm gonna buy a few €100,000 worth of XCM at current prices when that happens. So hopefully in the next month or two. But yeah, I'm absolutely. I see value there for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And we do have a merch shop, by the way. It's coinmetro.store, but it doesn't have this merch. It needs to be updated. Don't even go there because it's embarrassing. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for spending time here. Thanks for all the support as usual. Thanks for being Coinmetroids. Thanks for dealing with all the ups and downs at Coinmetro. I can't wait to get to the point that the ups are the only thing we talk about. And I think we're getting close to there. We're getting close. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. As I said, to the last question that just rolled in, having a Swiss BTC pair, possible. Want to see people asking for it first. So I'm going to note down that we have one person asking now, but definitely it is something. Talk about it in Telegram. See if anybody else is interested. We'll go from there. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again. Cheers. By the way, buy some XCM, sub 4 cents. It's an amazing opportunity. Cheers.